what we need in Minnesota? Do you know what we need in this district? Federal Guaranteed Jobs Program. Why? I've explained it in some of my videos. I will keep explaining it because I understand the program. It works on a local level. We immediately start fixing things. I'm calling out some of my friends. Regina Mustafa, who's running for mayor now in Rochester, she knows all this stuff. She wants to see Rochester flourish. My friends at CURE, Communities United for Rochester Empowerment, instead of fighting for affordable housing and internal segregation, which we know is not the answer, help us fight for a guaranteed jobs program which will lift all of those people in the community out of poverty once and for all. That is our message. It's being worked on. I guarantee there's going to be a bill in the Senate, probably led by a friend of ours that we know, Mr. Sanders, before I get elected in November. But we're working on the proposal right now. The report's coming out. We're going to convince people in Congress that this is the answer right now to 90% of our sociological problems. I saw one of our local leaders, Mal Landis, talking about some kind of loan he may have gotten approved for, and he wanted to do some things, and it's community things. These people, they're taking their own money and they're leading community action. We need to stop it. And none of the other candidates know what the federal jobs guarantee is. None of my opponents know. None of them even know how to pay for it. They think we need to go tax people in order to pay for a program. They're wrong. This is not their household budget we're talking about. This is the federal government that issues currency. We are going to change the thinking of the people in this district and across the nation to realize that the lies that they have been telling us for decades are going to end in the 116th Congress. That's it. They're ending because we have an entire coalition of people, some of which are really like they're almost shoo-ins, and we're starting to work together to consolidate our message. We're not droning, okay, not, oh, this is going to be another nonprofit. That's not what our group is about. Our group is about getting to know each other as if we're at work in the Capitol. Hey, what's going on, Angelica? How you doing? How's that working out for you? Yeah, we know each other already. I've talked to a dozen different candidates from all over the United States so far to work on our personal endorsements. I'm not going to endorse anybody if I don't feel you're on board. Some of those are running as incumbents, like Tulsi Gabbard. She's invited. She can come in, help us with some resources that she may know about, that candidates should know about. But we're not leaving our message behind, okay? The federal jobs guarantee works in conjunction with Medicare for All, and it ends poverty and unemployment as we know it. You stand up for what you believe in. Do you believe in these things that we're fighting for? Then you need to believe in the candidates that believe in them and are willing to fight for them, and that aren't going to take the party's domination to Washington. The party can kiss my ass. I'm going to do what's right for the people. And our coalition consists of Republicans, Independents, Greens, and Democrats. Of all affiliations, Our Revolution, Justice Democrats, Brand New Congress, DSA, SA, you name it. They've got endorsements from them all. And you know what? They leave those buttons at the door when we walk in. No more aisle in Washington. These are people I can't wait to serve with. I don't care what party they're in. I don't care. They have the message that the people need, that we have to work together to get passed in Washington. They're on my side. And the rest of us need to think about it the same way. We need less Washington and we need more people. And that's where we're headed. And I'm telling you, this message is not ending. But right now we're working on endorsements from other candidates who are in the running, maybe even incumbents eventually who we support. Like I said, Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders is in Congress. He's welcome to our 116th congressional candidate coalition group on Facebook if he'd like to come in and give us any pointers or let us know how the federal jobs guarantee bill proposals coming along because it's the Sanders Institute and the Levy Institute that's working on it. And once that report comes out, we're going to have some guidelines based on factual evidence of where this has worked and how it can work in the United States to start drafting up a proposal. And that, again, why is it so important? Why am I pushing it? Not just to get elected, because it is exactly what we need. 90% of local issues will be solved in this one bill alone. You don't believe me? Debate me about it. And we'll go. Because I'll knock down just about every single thing we got in our economic, socioeconomic issues. You know? We've got programs with people who are volunteering for 5 and 6 different programs, working 2 jobs and taking care of a family. Why? We just create a program and start staffing it up with people from the jobs program, and we start fixing our local problems. This is the answer to our 21st century problems, and this is the Congress that's going to be leading it. I'm part of that Congress. So if you want to be part of a winning team, a winning message, even though that doesn't matter, it's not about the winning, right? It is. But, you know, that saying Paul Wellstone says, again, my bud, Paul, says, politics is not just about winning for the sake of winning. So we get a D by our name over here in the district, but we get another Tim Walz or worse in Dan Feehan? No. I've talked to the guy. He does not get it. He still wants to support the Affordable Care Act. He does not get a lot of things. And he certainly doesn't get this district. So, look, I gave people an opportunity so I could still be in the game and work with them. And they kicked me in the teeth for the most part. So, what does that mean? It means, obviously, they want the battle to still go on. They're not willing to work with me to enact change, so they want to work against me to block it. We can't let that happen. You guys know we can't let that happen. Have I said anything this whole time about Bernie's platform or Hillary this or Trump that? No. That message doesn't matter. What matters is this jobs program, Medicare for all, ending the prohibition on marijuana, which will lead to a lot of other socioeconomic advancements. Those are 3 things we can do within the first year. Marijuana, we can do that one in the first week. It's got bipartisan support. Everybody, 75% of the United States supports letting states decide. Come on. If we don't get that done in the first round of what's on the floor at Congress, then we're already failing. And here's another thing to mention as far as the timeline. We've got a lot of these candidates are CFAR candidates. Some of you on my campaign before thought that these pledges and these contracts are gimmicky, and they're not. What they're showing people is it's like an employment contract that says you got 180 days of a probationary period, and then we're gonna let you know whether we think what you're doing, because if you don't do these things you're supposed to be standing up for. And some of the things, to be honest with you, on the contract, that don't get all confused, but we stand for $15 minimum wage. Well, that's still something that doesn't go far enough. Those are the minimums. That doesn't mean what we're going to ask for. I'll go up there and ask for $25 an hour because we know how they haggle us down. However, with the federal jobs program, that might have some offsetting, because why do we have to raise a minimum wage? Because people don't want to work at the job they're working at Walmart. Then they just walk into the employment office and say, I have an underpaying job. What kind of training do you have? Not really any. Well, let's first get you started in the retraining program. And that's where we go with it. Okay? Tim Kernova announced today he's dropping out of the party primary and running as an independent against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. He's got guts. Everybody wants to, oh, Tim, he's so great. But then when other people are doing it in your area, it's like, oh, you can't do that here in Minnesota. Nice. No, Wrong. The party is not Minnesota nice. The party is stealing democracy away. It's already started doing it. No more. So, stop with the organizational identity politics, and let's get back to the candidates that are talking about the things that are going to fix our problems, because that's all we need to do. And we're doing it. We're already working together. We would expect that the supporters and campaign members, campaign supporters of those people to break down those barriers and be accepting of this as well. Just take off those buttons, man. Just take them off. We don't need them. We don't need to identify ourselves in a way that separates us from others. You think about that. And if you want to contact me, all of you folks know how to contact me. And we'll discuss whether you want to be a tertiary supporter, where you're just kind of saying, hey, I support Johnny, and maybe sharing things online, or whether you actually want to be a volunteer, or whether you want to actually get involved and take a staff position. And by the way, anybody that is on my campaign helping us win this race are going to be first in line to have staff positions both here at home and in Washington. I actually have somebody very, very key in mind for my chief of staff. And it's going to take a little finagling, because you don't just walk up to somebody and they don't, Anyway, I'm leaving that door open to somebody, and no, it's not another candidate. It's somebody from the community. Because I'm not getting any love from any of the other candidates, obviously. So, after August 15th, you can come support me. You can throw your support behind the Republican. I don't know. I mean, if you're going to stick to the endorsement and you're going to put your support behind Dan Feehan, then, you're running your own show there. Because if you want to have a future in politics, you're kind of put back in the wrong pony there. So I'd very seriously consider you to think about on April 22nd who you're going to back, because this race is going to August 14th. And if you ain't in it, you're going to have to back one of us. And you're going to have to sleep at night with the decision you make. So I'm going to let you guys go. We got more stuff to do. I got calls to make. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Get involved. We need something to happen. We need this jobs guarantee program, and we need people's support to help us with our candidate support. That's it.